Merry Christmas everyone! The countdown is coming to a close and jolly old Saint Nick will be making his rounds any night now. So I thought to get us in the mood we'll have a good old Should You Platinum Christmas special. And what better Christmas game to play than Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh! Hey Jonah, looking good! Very festive!
Menace! A feckless, treacherous, unhinged menace!
And Christmas has a new face in my household now and his name is Miles. And I really couldn't believe how beautiful this game looked. Yeah, I know it's the same map as the last game, but seeing New York with a blanket of snow over the top of it, coupled with Christmas decorations sprinkled across the map, gave it a completely different feel to roam around in. I even just took the time to walk around and gawk at the pretty lights just to admire how much cooler it looks this way. I recently played the remastered version of the original and it felt so much more bland to look at than this game. I mean, this game has snow and
It's Christmas!
I don't think I can go back to how it looked before. Hang on, let me rephrase that. I don't want to go back to how it looked before. Nothing gives me a better feeling than walking through the snowy streets of New York looking at how the lights reflect off the puddles on the floor. Oh yeah, I played the game on the PS5 with fidelity mode on. I did try it with the 4K mode with 60 FPS which made the gameplay really smooth, but there's something about seeing a perfect reflection off a surface. However, since I recorded the footage for this video, Insomniac Games has just introduced an update to the game that allows you to play with 60 FPS and ray tracing at the same time, so there's no need to choose between the two now.
This is crazy tech.
This game is very much an origin story for Miles becoming the hero that he needs to be. To realise that he doesn't have to follow in the footsteps of the other Spider-Man and to become his own hero. And it's nice to see that Miles has a completely different moveset to Peter as he relies less on gadgets and more on his newfound Venom powers. Some of them are very much OP and make scenarios that much easier, especially the camouflage power which when you use it in stealth situations make you near enough invincible. You can web someone up right in front of their mate and they won't even seem to care. Just like the original Spider-Man game, you can choose from a range of different costumes to swing through New York in. Some of them look really freaking cool, others not so much. My favourites out of all of them are the ones that feel like winter alternatives to the original suits and also the Spider-Man 2020 suit. I mean realistically a 2020 suit would look more like this, but I respect the design nevertheless. The story may be the weakest part of the game honestly. It starts off by not Tom Holland giving you an excuse to why he's not going to be in the game, and then literally 20 minutes after he says,
I'm not gonna be around for the next few weeks.
a new criminal organisation starts to run amok in New York. And not only that, it seems that drug deals, robberies and murders have hit an all-time low around Christmas time, whereas generator crimes have hit an all-time high, since that seems to be the only thing that any of these criminals seem to be hitting recently. I guess it's lucky that Miles has electric powers, or else New York would have been screwed.
It worked.
Ooh, how convenient.
Some of you may already know, but Spider-Man Miles Morales is a very small game. But not only that, it's a very similar game to the first one. To put it very bluntly, it's neat enough to follow the same beats as the first game, but shortens it. Mr. Negative and the Demons are replaced by Tinkerer and the Underground, who both have the same ability to create weapons out of nothing. Silver Sable and her private militia are replaced by Troy Baker and the Roxxon militia. Devil's Breath has been replaced by New Form. Taskmaster challenges are replaced by Spider-Man training challenges. And there's more specific similarities that I noticed as well, but I don't want to get into them here because of spoilers. Hideouts make a return as well, but luckily there are less of them this time, which I'm actually grateful for. I found the amount of hideouts in the original game a bit overwhelming, and after the 10th hideout it got really repetitive and boring. Whereas here it acts as a good way to break away from the main story whilst also not shoving too much additional stuff in your face by flooding the map. One of the best additions to the game is how they separated the side missions into a different menu in the form of the Spider-Man app that citizens can interact with and ask for Spider-Man's help. These side missions were my favourite things to do, mainly due to the fact that they help show Miles as a more friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man, as you do tasks like finding someone's cat for them and pulling someone's van out of a snow pile. They're not the most exciting things to do, but for me it helps solidify Miles' character as a community man. As I said before, the game is a lot smaller than the first game, meaning that the trophy list is a lot easier to complete, which is saying something because the first game was near enough a cakewalk. Just like the first game, you want to finish the story in its entirety and also finish all the side missions, including getting spectacular or better in Spider-Man training missions. The only real difference from the other game is that you don't have to swing around aimlessly to tick off random crimes, since you really only have to finish one of each crime whilst also completing the 2 side objectives for each one. And you don't need to wait for a specific crime that you need, because instead you can just activate the crime you want via the app. Yeah, as Spider-Man, you basically control when and where a crime takes place, which will probably create an awkward conversation when Peter gets back.
You're becoming a crime lord. Yes, you can't stop crime. That's what you never understood. I'm controlling it.
The trophy list mainly comprises of you using your newfound spider powers and gadgets, such as 25 wall takedowns, 25 ceiling takedowns, beat 50 enemies with camouflage, and beat 100 enemies with your Venom power. There is one missable trophy in the game, and that's to beat Finn at the Rocket minigame during the Science Museum level. Luckily, if you miss it the first time round, you have a second chance to do it when you go through the game on New Game Plus, which you'll have to do for the trophy anyway. And it was doing New Game Plus when I realised just how short the storyline truly is. Since you don't have to do any of the side bits for the New Game Plus trophy, you can just blitz through the main story, which only took me about 7 hours to get through. Once you've done all that, all that's left is the easy to find collectibles and some of the miscellaneous trophies, such as riding on a boat and paying your respects to Miles' dad. The last trophy I did, which I thought was the most appropriate one to finish on, was to pay your respects to the man who started it all. Stan Lee.
You know,
I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
I freaking love this game. I think it's full of charm and sincerity, and it's based at Christmas, which instantly makes it a game that I'll be picking up yearly to get myself in the Christmas spirit. I think it's picked up from where the last game left off perfectly, and if I'm honest, I prefer this one to the first game. I think Mars' movement has more character to them, and not only that, I think the Venom powers are really cool to use. And the little details that are added in show how much effort the team are putting into the game. From the battery level of Miles' phone going down as you progress through the story, to adding in a modification that makes you move like Miles did in the Spider-Verse movie. One of the most heartwarming details lies in the street name that they renamed in memorial for the late Chadwick Boseman. It's things like this that show the heart that the creators are putting into this franchise. And as far as the Platinum Trophy goes, this is super easy, and there isn't a trophy that I think will bring you any trouble. It's basically the case of completing everything the game has to offer and taking advantage of all its new features. It took me a total of 18 hours of playtime to get the Platinum Trophy, but most of that time was just me swinging about and enjoying the snow. I hope you enjoyed the video. I just want to take the time to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you all stay safe over the holidays. Don't forget to leave this video a like, and why not subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas.
I hate Days of Doom! I hate Days of Doom!
I understood that reference.